What up, YouTube? It's Knowledge of Self-Determination. So I'm making this video in response to a brother that I was in dialogue with on Ticket TV's video about Trump. This isn't a diss video to that brother because the brother is very intelligent, and I actually respect that brother's position and the knowledge that this brother has of politics. You know, so it's nothing but respect to that brother. I think we were kind of talking past each other. A lot of times when you're reading comments and trying to type and you're busy and you're working and stuff like that or whatever, you know, something gets lost in translation. You know, the argument kind of went into, you know, how Trump was elected, and basically my whole point in his thing was about voting or whatever, and people coming out to vote and saying that your vote does count and your vote does matter. And I respectfully disagree with that brother because your vote doesn't matter. Hillary won the popular vote, and yet the Electoral College decided to elect Donald Trump and his vice president as the president and vice president of the United States of America. You understand? It happened with George Bush. This happened twice in my lifetime with George Bush Jr. George W. Bush Jr. He clearly lost the election to, I think it was Al Gore. He clearly lost that election, the popular vote. But somehow he won the election in the Electoral College. Now it has been, other than those two times and two other times before that, it has been the notion that if a president wins the popular vote, that the Electoral College would then lean towards whoever won the popular vote and then, you know, elect that person. I like this quote. I think it was from David Rockefeller. He said, "Give me control over a nation's money. I care not who makes its laws." We need to understand, black people, and not just black people either, because what happens in politics affects all of us. Whether racist, white supremacists, white people want to believe that or not, whatever happens to one of us affects all of us. Because the top 1% are only into protecting and maintaining the wealth of the top 1%. They don't care about the rest of us. The brother made some really good points, you know, talking about, you know, if Democrats, you know, were the majority in Congress, you know, which is the House of Representatives and the Senate, which that makes up Congress, you know, that you can fight against Trump and these the different things he's doing, like this wall between the U.S. and Mexico, and basically keeping out people from Muslim countries out of America and from applying for green cards or whatever. But right here, I'm just gonna, you know, basically give you guys a quick rundown on what the Electoral College is and what it does. So just bear with me for a moment, please. The United States Electoral College is the mechanism established by the United States Constitution for the indirect election of the President of the United States and Vice President of the United States. Citizens of the United States vote in each state at a general election to choose a slate of electors pledged to vote for a party's candidate. The 12th Amendment requires each elector to cast one vote for president and another vote for vice president. In each state and the District of Columbia, electors are chosen every 4 years on the Tuesday after the first Monday in November, and then meet to cast ballots on the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December. The candidates who receive an absolute majority of electoral votes among the states are elected president and vice president of the United States when the Electoral College vote is certified by Congress in January. Each state chooses electors, amounting in number to that state's combined total of senators and representatives. There are a total of 538 electors, corresponding to the 435 representatives and 100 senators, plus the 3 electors the District of Columbia is provided by the 23rd Amendment. The Constitution bars any federal official, elected or appointed, from being an elector. The Office of the Federal Register is charged with administering the Electoral College. Since the mid-19th century, when all electors have been popularly chosen, the Electoral College has elected the candidate who received the most popular votes, except in 4 elections, like what I just said. 1876, 1888, 2000, and 2016. The two elections that I currently was just talking about, George W. Bush Jr. and the election of Donald Trump. In 1824, there were 6 states in which electors were legislatively appointed rather than popularly elected. So the true national popular vote is uncertain. The electors failed to select a winning candidate, so the matter was decided by the House of Representatives. So basically, that's the point that I wanted to really get out, is that whether, yes, the brother was right. If you control Congress, basically, if you control a majority of Congress, you know, the House of Representatives and the Senate, you can effectively combat a president's executive orders and so on and so forth, you know, in different things that you may disagree with the president on, different situations you may agree with the president on, like laws and certain things like that, or like Donald Trump wants to send the feds to Chicago, like he's trying to start up a whole new COINTELPRO, or have a whole new, you know, create a whole new J. Edgar Hoover and whatever, go in Chicago and smash heads, or however that case may be, whatever the case may be with that. But the whole point of me making this video was to explain or give a little bit of insight on the Electoral College, that okay, having Congress, basically having a majority of the House and Senate, basically having a majority of Congress does play well for you if your president is a Republican and it's Democrats who control Congress, or control Congress and vice versa. You know, whatever side of the fence you are on, you know, it benefits you if you can pretty much control Congress and have, you know what I'm saying, basically, you can control Congress. But this is the Electoral College. This is the Electoral College. This is completely separate from controlling Congress. This is completely separate from the House of Representatives and the Senate. This is something else entirely different. Entirely different. Now, like it says, typically, the Electoral College usually is swayed by the popular vote, but not this time, and not during George Bush's reign. Why? Why is that? What is the catalyst that sparked this chain reaction in the minds of these people who were elected to represent the people of America and choose the president that the people had chosen? Now, granted, I'm not saying that Hillary is better than Donald Trump by no stretch of the imagination. I don't think either one of them were good candidates for the country. Personally, there were plenty of third-party candidates that I would have rather seen become president of the United States than these two. However, third parties don't really get a lot of mention in America. But I just wanted to basically drop a little bit of science on the Electoral College. Feel free to Google Electoral College and look that up, so that you can broaden your horizons and get your knowledge on what the Electoral College does, the foundation of the Electoral College, and what part of the United States Constitution it lies in, because it is in the Constitution and you can read it. You can see it there. But yeah, that's all I have for that. Again, like I said, yeah, the Electoral College is who ultimately chooses the president. Again, we've been used to the Electoral College pretty much piggybacking off of what the popular vote is. But as you can see, that's not always the defining factor. Again, I agree with what the brother was saying about controlling, you know, a majority of Congress. I agree with that wholeheartedly. If the majority of Congress were Democrats, then yeah, maybe Trump wouldn't be allowed to do some of the things he's doing, and he'd have a lot of resistance from government. However, that's not the case. And also, again, your vote didn't count because the majority of people voted for Hillary Clinton, and she didn't win. So that's all I have on that one, guys. Just wanted to drop that quick video on Electoral College. Remember, like, learn, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.